Gemmell CDs Part 3. Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to the next part of my look at my normal CDs, albums, live albums, greatest hits compilations from artists. Quickly mention, they used to be in alphabetical order, they're not anymore for various reasons. If you want to know why, watch part 1. Not going into too much detail on these. First up we have McBusted by McBusted. Big fan of McFly, a fan of Busted, not a big fan. So enjoyed it when they got together, went to see them live, which is one of the best shows I've ever seen. This was a good album. Some strange stuff on here that you wouldn't expect to have come from that partnership. But did enjoy the album. And the songs worked well live as well. This is Paul McCartney's Memory Almost Full. This is the version that was given away with the mail. I'm not sure if it's any different from the normal version as well. When they do a reissue of this, I will pick up the proper version if you like. But yeah, an enjoyable album. One of his better recent ones. This is Ocean Colour Scenes Moseley Shoals. This is sort of their big album with the Riverboat song, The Day We Caught the Train. And what was the other? I can't remember what the other singles were. You Got It Bad. It's a good album, but it drags. It's probably about 2 songs too long. It gets a bit samey. But it's an album I've listened to a lot, particularly when it came out. This is Outkast's Speaker Box for Love Below. So this was done. Big Boy and Andre 3000 weren't really getting on when they did this album. So they actually did 2 solo albums and packaged it as an Outkast album, basically. So Speaker Box is Big Boy's album, and The Love Below is Andre Simone's. That contains Hey Ya, which of course is the big hit from this album. I do prefer I said Andre Simone then, didn't I? He's a Prince associate, Andre 3000. I do like his album more. But it has its... Big Boys has its moments as well. This is Wingspan. This is one of the earliest bits of Paul McCartney I got. This is a compilation I released in 2001. It's meant to be... Well, it's called Wingspan, but it's credited to Paul McCartney rather than Wings. So, although it's mainly Wings tracks, there are a couple of the early Paul McCartney solo bits on here as well. But it's very much a greatest hits up to... Well, I say early. It's also got Waterfalls from McCartney 2, so it's what bookends the Wings era. But it does only go up to... I think the latest track on here is No More Lonely Nights. I think. But it's sort of got an album of hits... or a CD of hits, and then a CD of what they're calling History, which are more slightly deeper cuts, but it's still got Maybe I'm Amazed on it, and Waterfalls was a single, and a couple of other bits sort of big hits, or well-known tracks anyway. This is Pearl Jam's debut album 10. This is a masterpiece. Absolutely love this album. This is Rearview Mirror. This is Pearl Jam's greatest hits. This is the 2 CD version, I think. Yes. I think there was multiple versions of this. Might be wrong, they might have all been 2 CD versions. But very enjoyable. This is Pet Shop Boys Pop Art. This is their greatest hits over 2 CDs. Probably enough for me for Pet Shop Boys, because they can be a bit samey, but I do like them. I might pick up other bits if I find them at a reasonable price. This is Hit by Peter Gabriel. This is his greatest hits compilation. I have picked up a couple of his other albums and we'll get some more, I'm sure. This is Pixie Lott. This is Turn It Up, which was her first album. So this has got Mama Do, Cry Me Out, which is one of my favourite songs of all time. Boys and Girls were the hits on this one. Big fan of Pixies. If you've watched the previous part, here's Dry, PJ Harvey's debut album. Really like this album. Just classic album. At this time, PJ Harvey was the name of a band. After the second after Rid of Me, she sort of dropped the band and PJ Harvey was PJ Harvey. Okay. It's a quite relatively interesting one. This is Songbook by Robbie Williams. This was given away with the Mail on Sunday. It's got some live bits on it, some singles from throughout his career. It's sort of just a mixture, and then it's also got bonus content on CD-ROM on it. Yeah, so it's just a little compilation through his career. It's a little Miles Davis mini box set. This is Working, Relaxing and Steaming. So these are 3 albums recorded by the Miles Davis Quintet. Working, Relaxing and Steaming, and they've just sort of boxed them together. Then we have the 20th anniversary re-release of Supergrass's debut album, Aisha Coco. Love Supergrass. So this has got the album, then disc 2 is demos, B-sides, outtakes and curios, and disc 3 are 2 live albums. I think it's 2. This is live at Bath Mole stroke La Route du Rock. So does that mean it's 2? Trying to see if there's a duplication of any tracks. Ooh, it might just be 1 gig that I've named. No, it's not. It's 2 gigs. One from 94, one from 95. But yeah, that's a really good set. This was a charity shop purchase. This was a Ting Tings debut album. We Started Nothing. Quite enjoyed it. That's Not My Name is great. Shut Up and Let Me Go is great. There was another one on here I really enjoyed, but I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, there's some really good stuff on there, and the rest of it was good. This is Chas and Dave's Not Just Another Beano. Big fan of Chas and Dave. This is a live recording of a gig they did at the Apollo in London on the 12th of December. Every year they did a sort of a Christmas gig, and this was a special one they did celebrating 40 years of Chas and Dave. This was a pledge campaign. First of all, they sent out the 2 CDs in this little set. But there was a balls up, and I think it was CD2 wouldn't play. It was the same on everybody, so they had to repress those. But then eventually also sent a DVD, which is tucked in here somewhere. So I think, and then I ended up with 2 booklets. So I'm not naming now. Disc 1, disc 2. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I hadn't folded it out far enough. Yeah. And then eventually DVD followed. And also it got a signed poster of it as well. This is Bowie's Black Star. I haven't listened to this much because obviously he died 2 days after this came out. I think I've only listened to it once. It was just a bit too painful at the time, and I've never got round to re-listening to it. I will do. I mean, the artwork on it is amazing. Back to the Paul McCartney Archive Collection, if you've watched previous videos. This is Venus and Mars. So this version came as a 2 CD set. So it's got the original album, and then the bonus audio is remixes, demos, B-sides, non-album singles. Nice mixture on there. Really good album. This is McFly's Radioactive. I've picked up, as I've mentioned before, big fan of McFly. I have picked up all their albums. This, probably my least favourite of them. But it's got some good bits on it. This is Chas and Dave's That's What Happens. This was their album from 2013. Got a nice acoustic version of Ain't No Pleasing You on here. But various other tracks as well. It's a bit more rootsy than their big hit stuff, but an enjoyable album. This is McFly's Wonderland. This was their second or third album. Apologies, I'm not overly... I haven't sort of embedded their album sequence in my head. This is a good album. This is Room on the Third Floor. This was their first album. It's got Opens with Five Colours in Her Hair, which is just a great song. One of the greatest songs ever written, probably. He follows it up with, obviously, in Room on the Third Floor. Great triumvirate to open their career. But lots of other good stuff on there as well. This is the Blue Tones collection. This is sort of a I'm going to say it's a greatest hits. It's not a greatest hits. It's a compilation, but it's one the band compiled, I believe, or at least one or two members of a band. And although it's got opens with Slight Return, it's also got Blue Tonic and Solomon Bites a Worm and Autophilia or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love My Car was a single, but it wasn't a big hit. But it is one of my favourite Blue Tones tracks. The rest of it is B-sides and album tracks and less obvious stuff to have on a compilation, so it's a nice one to have. This is Destiny's Child 1. I think I picked this up in HMV in one of their 2 for whatever offers. It's just all their #1 singles, so it was nice to have them all. I like them anyway, but it's also handy for compiling quizzes. A lot of greatest hits I do pick up largely because A, I quite like the artist, but B, it's handy to have their tracks available. It's Tina Turner, Simply the Best, another compilation, another greatest hits. I mean, it's practically faultless run of tracks on this. The Best, What's Love Got to Do with It, I Can't Stand the Rain, I Don't Want to Lose You, Nutbush City Limits, Let's Stay Together, Private Dancer, We Don't Need Another Hero, Better Be Good to Me, River Deep Mountain High, Steamy Windows, Typical Male, It Takes Two, Addicted to Love, Be Tender With Me Baby, I Want You Near Me, Way of the World, Love Thing. So apart from the last, well, 3 of the last, Way of the World's a good track, but apart from 3 of the last 4, that is a solid album. This is McFly, the anthology tour of the hits live. So a few years back, 2016 this came out. I think it might have been 2015 they did the gigs. They did a series of gigs. They did 3 nights in, I think it was Glasgow, Manchester, Birmingham and London. I think 3 nights in each venue where they played all their albums in full. They sort of did 2 albums each night. They released that big black box next to the white Joni Mitchell box set. I have shown that, obviously. They released a big box set with all those shows on, not all 12 or 16 shows, but each album in full at a different venue, if you like. But then they also released generally this little compilation, which is the hits live, which is great. This is Sophie Ellis-Bextor's Shoot From a Hip. This was her second or third album. As I mentioned before, just really like Sophie's voice, love her music. This is the Blue Tones and New Athens. This was their last album. I've only got this I never got it sort of when it was released. I only picked this up a year or 2 ago. It's good, but it's not their best. This is the Blue Tones, the early garage years. So these are demos that were sort of precursors to Expecting to Fly. Demos and EP tracks and things like that. But all tracks that went on to be on Expecting to Fly, all related singles. This is the Spice Girls Forever. This was their third album post Jerry's leaving. This is another one I never got over time, but I've picked up relatively recently. Goodbye is a good track, and they did that. I saw them live on their reunion tour on the last night of their reunion tour, in fact, which was an amazing gig. The only tracks they did from this were Goodbye and Holler, which was a single. Holler's not a great track, but Goodbye was really good. The rest of it, I couldn't even hum to you. This is Kurt Cobain Montage of Heck for home recordings. I like Nirvana. I've got all their stuff, but I'm not a huge fan. This was they released a couple of years ago to go along with a documentary, and it's all little demos and home recordings and stuff like that. It's not great. I don't remember much about it, but it was cheap, basically. This is Elbow's Best Of, the deluxe edition. A band I like what I knew of them, so I thought I'd pick this up. Enjoyed it. I might pick up some of their other bits. Rob Walker, I know you're a big fan, so I'm sure if I find them at the right price, I'll pick up their other bits. But obviously, goes without saying that One Day Like This is one of the greatest songs ever written. This is Jess Glynne's I Cry When I Laugh. This is her first album. Basically, every time she released a new single, I really liked it. So I thought, sorry, I'm going to get her album. And I really liked the album. And I did the same on her second album and really liked that as well. She supported the Spice Girls when I saw them the other week, and she was excellent. But yeah, really strong album. This is the very best of Slade. This is another, I like them, and it'll be handy for quizzes. But they have another band who I will pick up bits as and when I find them. I think they've become a bit underrated, Slade. People forget, they had, 4 consecutive #1 singles that went straight in at #1. They were just a really good band. This was just, I can't remember if it was a charity shop or just bought second hand from Music Magpie or something like that online. But this is Kylie's Hits Plus. This was a little, when she left Deconstruction, they released this, and it's sort of a mixture of the greatest hits plus some remixes and unreleased bits as well, hence the title Hits Plus. So I'll pick this up for completeness. But certainly, this is probably my favourite Kylie year of the Deconstruction years. Confide in Me, Put Yourself in My Place, Where's the Feeling, Some Kind of Bliss, which I love. Did It Again, which I love. Breathe, Wherever Wild Roses Grow, which wasn't on Deconstruction, it was on whatever Nick Cave's record label is. There's sort of the hits on here, and then there's the other rare and unreleased bits. This is Royal Blood's first album, so yes, the one I showed on my previous video is their second one, self-titled one. As I mentioned then, saw them on the Brit Awards, really enjoyed it, so thought I'd get their album, and I really enjoyed the album. And then finally, for this video and this block of shelves, we have Franz Ferdinand's last album, Always Ascending. I've only listened to this once, but I enjoyed it. I will have to give it another listen at some point. And I got this with a big signed poster as well. But yeah, it's a good album. So there we go. That's that video done. That's that set of shelves done. So if that did 3 videos, we're talking another 3, 6, 9, 12. And probably do that in 1 or 2, say 2. Probably another 14 videos of normal CDs. Then we'll move on to CD singles, which are all on my shelf, my windowsill behind where you are. And then that's my music collection done. And then we can get onto the interesting stuff like reviews and lists and rankings and all sorts of stuff like that. But anyway, yes, we'll get onto them. I'm looking forward to getting to that, but I do want to get this done. Enough waffle. Thank you for watching previous parts on the playlist, future parts on the playlist. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.